Okay. Can y'all hear me all right here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm at the gym, so there's music playing in the background, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off anywhere. But I told Summer and Tammy that this is the only place that I can get away from my kids for a minute. So, but anyways, okay, so Chapter 5, the law of consistency. So I started just kind of jotting down some things that kind of jumped out at me as I was reading, but then I realized I could pretty much jot down the whole chapter because it was just so good, and I know it was good for me. Anyways, so the very first thing he says is about motivation gets you going and discipline keeps you growing. So that's pretty significant. A lot of times we let our motivation determine our action. But, you know, we have to find that internal motivation. I know we've talked a lot about, you know, you can't rely on other motivators. And that's kind of what he goes into. He talks about ways to be consistent. So the first thing was to match your motivation to your personality type. And I think this was really interesting, and it's very important to like know yourself, which one you are. So there was like the phlegmatic, which was like the easygoing. They would be motivated by finding value in what they're doing. Choleric, they take charge and make this and like making decisions. And there was the sanguine, which are the life of the party. So it's good for them if they can kind of make it a game and, you know, give themselves a little rewards along the way. And then there was melancholy, which they're like the perfectionists and people who have attention to detail and are fearful of mistakes. But the way they can be motivated is like focusing on the joy of the detail and the journey itself. So I would encourage like everyone to figure out like which one you are, and know that all of these have strengths and all of these have weaknesses. So it doesn't matter which one you are, you know, any of them, we can still achieve the same things. Just, you know, we might require different motivators and go about it a different way. But you don't have to be a certain one to grow. Let's see. And then he talked about the number one problem that we face is attempting too much, and that is often so discouraging. This is huge for us, whether you're talking about goals in your personal development or goals in your businesses. We can say, you know, I want to be 2 ranks ahead of where I am next month, but I mean, that's good to, you know, want to achieve high things. But at the same time, we talked a lot about this last week. You know, you've got to make your goals realistic. Are you just going to get to the end of the next 2 months and then just be discouraged because you didn't meet that goals? So he says, start small. Start with goals that you know you are going to achieve. So as far as personal development, you know, read your personal development book every day. Watch a video, whatever it is. You know, challenge yourself. If you have a fear of talking to people, make it a point. Anytime you go in a grocery store, you're going to talk to one person. You know, just something to challenge yourself. Just something small that you know you can achieve. And then that applies to your business too. And I think all of this that he says applies to your goals and personal development and your business. And he says, if you want to grow, don't try to win big, try to win small. So maybe you have big goals of being emerald or diamond or whatever it is. I know I do, but I can't think right now, oh, I'm going to be emerald. I got to go emerald. You know, that's my goal, to be emerald. I want to do that, but that is too far out in the future for me to focus on right now. You know, I have to think, what is my next step, you know? And he says, we all want the home run. We all want the big hit, but it never comes without a great deal of little hits first. So whether you're looking at something big like reaching emerald, or whether you're looking at reaching your next rank, gold, senior gold, silver, whatever it is, what's the little things that come first? Are you reaching out to people daily? Are you adding 3 ambassadors a month, or whatever your goal is? So break it down into something small and really focus on those attainable goals. And he talks a lot about, as a culture, we all kind of have like immediate satisfaction ingrained in us, like, fast food, everything's like fast and immediate. You go to fast-paced care centers, like everything's just fast-paced. And if it's not, we just quit. People do this business for 3 months and they're not emerald and they quit. Or, you read one personal development book and you haven't conquered all your fears and you just quit. And that's not the way it works. And later on in the chapter, he talked about, being consistent isn't like human nature. We all have to work at this. Some people are definitely more disciplined than others, I think. But I think that's kind of encouraging to know. I used to say to myself, I'm just not a consistent person naturally. Well, no one is. It all takes discipline, and it all takes the daily activities, forming new habits and such, to make yourself be more consistent. So people who grow and achieve the most have mastered patience and persistence. And then he kind of goes into what the life coach was saying, and I kind of touched on this earlier, but you have your life goals, break that down to annual goals. Annual goals, break that down to daily goals. Daily goals, break that down to forming new habits. Doing things which may make you uncomfortable but are going to help you grow. Like for me, that would be talking to the person in the grocery store, or whatever that is for you. Just find something little, I would say, in your personal development growth and in your business growth, and try to incorporate that into your daily activities. And habits turn into actions turn into attitudes, and attitudes turn into lifestyles, he says.
Say that again.
Habits turn into actions turn into attitudes, and attitudes turn into lifestyles. But I know, like, personal development wise, one thing I would like to be better at is public speaking. Okay, well, I'm not just going to go speak in front of 1 million people tomorrow and say, oh, good, I'm good at that now. No, it starts with the little things. It starts with me leading little Zoom calls like this, even just getting on chats with people. Start small and work your way up to that. And then he really emphasizes on focusing on today. You can make your plans for tomorrow, but what are you doing today? Focus on your today and invest in that. And then he also talks about failing teaches the value of the process, which is another reason, like, I wouldn't go talk in front of 1 million people tomorrow because, that would be a bigger failure in my mind if I mess that up than just talking to a few of you and messing that up, But it's just taking little steps at a time. So the second thing he said that you have to do if you're applying, if you want to apply the law of consistency, is to make sure your why is strong enough. So why do you want to improve? Oh, that's actually the third thing. The second thing was to value and appreciate the process. Okay. So the third thing is to know your why. He said your why is what keeps you going when you have no willpower. Have why power. So again, this is both in our personal growth goals and our business goals. And he asked these 7 questions to take the why test, and I'm just going to read through them real quick. And think about what your why is for each and see how does it hold up here. Do you constantly procrastinate on important tasks? Do I require coaching to do small chores? Do I perform duties just to get by? Do I talk negatively about my work? Do friends' encouragement irritate me? Do I start small projects and abandon them? Do you avoid self-improvement and opportunities? So if if a lot of those answers you could answer yes to, then maybe you need to reevaluate your why. And I think a lot of times we have strong whys, but we become just complacent with where we are. Yeah, it would be nice to be out of debt. It would be nice to conquer my fear of public speaking. It would be nice to whatever. But, life's okay like it is. We can just stay as we are, continue paying off our debt for the rest of our lives and pass it on to our kids. I think we get just complacent in the place we're in. I think if that's the case, then we need to get more specific with what our why is. He says the more whys and the bigger whys you can give yourself, the better. The greater number of reasons you give yourself to grow, the more you will grow. Last thing he said was to know when you need to improve. So a quote that I love that speaks to me often is that you won't change your life until you change something you do daily. So again, that goes back to like the habit thing. Picking something that you are going to do regardless of daily with your new habits is going to lead you in the direction that you want to go. Otherwise, we really don't have any business complaining about where we are. And then I mentioned that consistency is contrary to nature. And with that, he mentioned being growth conscious rather than goal conscious. So if you are constantly focusing on your goal, you're just focusing on your destination. You're just focusing on where you want to be, what you need to be that you're not right now. Whereas if you focus on your growth and put the focus there, then you're focusing on the journey, And it definitely is a more enjoyable, I think it's definitely a more enjoyable journey if you can focus on that. And, if you're setting yourself small goals and celebrating those goals, then you're going to stay a lot more encouraged than if you're just focusing on where you're not right now, but where you want to be. And then with that also, he says goals are just seasonal and they challenge you, but growth is lifelong and it changes you. So pretty much just no matter what, do something every day that's leading you in the direction that you want to go. And that was pretty much the summary of the chapter. That's all I got.
Thanks, Kaylee. This was such a good chapter, you guys. Like, if you haven't really read this chapter through, I really encourage you to, because I think that this is I know for me, this is my biggest weakness, is staying in a very good, consistent rhythm each day. Like, even if you have a bad day, you do something, like you do one thing for your business every day at least. Because like Kaylee said, that I think sometimes we focus on where we want to be and the end goal, and not enough on our daily growth. Like, what am I doing today that's going to get me, you know, to where I want to be 2 weeks from now, to where I want to be a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 4 years from now. It's not, you know, success is not just a one-time event. It is definitely little small tasks, small important tasks that lead you to that. And I think, you know, for me, I have always been a procrastinator on the things that scare me the most. So, like, I'll do the little things, you know, the little tasks that I know that I can do really well. But that one task that, like, you know, doing a video, for instance, that scares me half to death, you guys. When I did that live video the other day, I was scared to death, okay? But I can tell you that, like, every time, like, Kaylee led this call tonight, and Kaylee, you did a wonderful job, by the way. You did a really good job. Every time you go and do that thing that scares you, it really gets a lot easier. I have learned that. And you get braver, and your confidence gets bolder, and you learn something from the process. So I want to hear from you guys. What did y'all gain from this?
I just wanted to say real quick, when you did that live video, Della, Chad commented on it, and he said, you know, you got to eat an elephant one bite at a time. And I think that holds so true in everything we do. You know, that goes right along with what we were talking about. I just liked that.
I agree, and he reminds me of that all the time. Like, you can't eat the whole elephant, Della, you know, because I want to. So I think that gets us all, like, you know, we all, like, everybody, say hi. I think we all get in that mindset of, I'm going to do it all today. Like, and I'm going to do, like, and it's going to propel me forward, you know, to where I want to be. Or at least that's my mindset sometimes. I'm a big dreamer. And so I have to remind myself it's the little every single day. I'm going to mute now and let somebody else talk.
I am definitely a phlegmatic, but I know that I'm going to be that tenacious one, because this is what I intend to do as my full-time job, you know, for the rest of my life. And I told a friend of mine the other day that I was getting into, and she said, well, that's not enough to keep you going. You got to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, she said, I know, or you can't tell me that Burger King or McDonald's is not hiring. And that's just not, I'm at the age now, I don't want to spend the rest of my life working in a fast food place. This is something I know I can do. And, you know, she's telling me that she owns a very large daycare center. And she's and she was telling me, you had ladies here do the plexus, stitches, you know, he'd work and then it would die off. And yeah, I already knew that. But I know I can do this. So, but yeah, I'm going to be tenacious. And I'm done.
Yeah, it's so great, Diana, and you really can do it. It's just like our chapter tonight. It takes consistency. And I went to a mindset training, I guess it was sometime last month. And one of the things that they said is, you know, sometimes people, and I think it really touched on what Kaylee said about sorry, my train of thought just left me. The thought maybe the connection will come back, but the thought of, you know, we have this the instant. we live in what Kaylee said about everything's fast and instant gratification and all of those things. And we live in a society, we feel like, oh, if I'm not at the top of this company, in 3 months, that this must not work, and sometimes we get like that in our business. But I mean, I know for those of us who have been here a year or longer, I mean, just as encouragement, to you as you're starting out, if you are really giving it like consistency and if you're wanting to get your business really off the ground, like it sounds like you do, you really want to get momentum on your side. And so, I know the time I saw my business grow the most was when I did extra power hours. So like if I typically worked an hour a day, then I might work 3 to 4 hours a day. And I only did that for like a month, because you don't want to burn yourself out. But like you just kind of really hit it like super hard for like a month, and you call people and you message and you just put more time into reaching out to people. And then after that kind of power month, then you kind of go to that consistent hour after that. But that's something that really got my business off to a much better start. And so I'd encourage you to consider that, however much time you decide to dedicate to that. It's one of those things that really helps, because, just kind of doing 5 messages a day, it's not going to get you where, as quickly to where you want to go. Because like they say, for every 10 people you message, you may hear back from 1, and it may or may not be someone who's interested. So if you're really wanting good momentum, I'd recommend messaging 15 to 20 people, new people a day. And that will really get you kind of kick started if that's something that you really want. But it's totally doable. And I mean, we're here to help you with those, and Della's here to help you with the messages and ideas and things like that, for sure.
Well, I got to tell you, y'all encourage me so much. I'm not actually getting into the business until next week.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to hit the floor running.
Yeah.
And actually, the idea of working 1 hour a day is just so foreign to me. It doesn't seem like much, but I understand something like this, it might be.
Well, and I guess what I say is because some of us have full-time jobs, and so and some of them come home to kids, so sometimes it's challenging to find an hour to work another business. But if you're home full-time, if you just treated it even like a part-time job where you work 4 to 6 hours a day, man, you could do crazy, amazing things. And then the people who I know who like worked at like a full-time job, like 8 hours a day, they like got to the top of this company very quickly. I mean, it took a lot of hard work and a lot of personal growth. And some of them did it in 7 and 8 months, but I know it was a lot of, personal growth, a lot of time and effort, but it's all in what you put into it and the skills you develop that are going to help you along the way. Because it's relationship marketing. So.
And also having, I think a good mentor, like outside of even me, I think having like a counselor or, somebody that you can go to help you achieve your goals is wonderful. Like, especially if you're looking to achieve them in a very short period of time. So having that guidance is really going to be important. So.
Absolutely. I believe that. And I have to say, I wanted to tell my friend, I said, but I know this group of ladies, and I have such a great support group already, and they are successful in this. So if they can do it, I can do it. And, I bet I'm going to need y'all. And I know that. So I'm grateful for y'all.
Well, we're glad you're on, Miss Diana. And I will say also, I think surrounding yourself with Donna posted this the other day. Donna, tell me what you posted. Tell everybody what you posted the other day about the 5 people you surround yourself with. You're muted.
Okay, there we go. Was that just yesterday that I did that?
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm calling you out.
Okay. That's
Well,
all right.
I'll post so much, sometimes you can't
I
remember.
can say it, but I thought you would like to say because you're the one that posted it.
Right. So you want to surround yourself with people who add the fuel of advice and encouragement to your fire. Make a conscious effort to surround yourself with positive, nourishing, and uplifting people. People who believe in you, encourage you to go after your dreams, and applaud your victories. That's the kind of people you want to surround yourself with.
Wow, I'll have to remember that. That's good.
And then also, I think it was the 5 people that you surround yourself with, you become like
Yes.
the 5 closest people in your life, you become influenced by them the most. So,
Yes.
Makes sense.
well, did anybody else have any comments for tonight's call?
I just wanted to say that I agree with Kaylee, where she said that sometimes you procrastinate when it's trying to accomplish things that scare you. And I'm guilty of that. That's something I'm really working on, is really trying to face those fears of mine and get away from the negative talk that I do to myself. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, that's really good, Donna. And I had watched the video by Bob Heilig. Bob Heilig is a network marketing professional, and I watch a lot of his videos because he had great success within a very short period of time. And he really encourages massive action if you want momentum. But one of the things that he was saying is that whenever he has a fear, that tells him where he needs to go next. That tells him that's the compass to what the next thing that he needs to do. Because whenever he avoids that fear, that holds his business either right where it is or it pulls him back. And it makes complete sense. Like if your fear is posting on Facebook, if that's your first fear, you need to be consistent with posting on Facebook, and you need to be learning how to do it in a good way, in a good way that comes across well to your audience. And then the next fear is, voice messaging a dream team member, then go voice message a dream team member, or call a dream team member and talk to them about this. And, or doing a video and telling them your story, whatever it is. And, so I'm writing down my current fears, and I'm trying to overcome those. And I also want to say I'm trying to overcome fears that aren't even related to plexus, but just in my life. I wouldn't even say like fears, but maybe like some things that I've not been good at before. Maybe some things I lack self-discipline in. Because when you overcome something in your personal life, it's just going to encourage you it's going to encourage you in your business too. Like whether that is, you don't, like Kaylee, she joined a gym. She's been consistently working out. I think that's a great habit to get into. That's one that I'm trying to get into myself, is working out more, because I always feel better. My mind is more clear. Obviously, I have kids most of the day. You can hear them. Sorry, guys. Daddy's taking care of them. So I just, I want to encourage you guys that if you have something that you've told yourself you're not good at, but that would help your health, that would help your mindset, then go do that thing. So whether it's getting a you know, you don't have to pay for a gym, even just going for a jog with a friend, you know, or whatever it is on a consistent, you know, on a, you know, regular basis that will help you just, you know, feel more confident as a person. So.
Yeah, there is something I learned about myself some years ago, because I like inertia. I'm basically a lazy person. So I found out that I have to place myself in situations that get me out of my comfort zone. And it really helps a lot. Because if you can do that and stay in it, then you'll grow. So, you know, you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think, Miss Diana, I think you keep watching those Christy White videos. I think that she will really inspire you. I think she has a really great way of putting things simple. And I mean, she came from a town of 400 people. I mean, very small. So if she can build a business online, so can you. Like, it's completely doable.
I believe that. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, ladies. Does anybody else have anything else? Okay. All right. Y'all have a good night. I'm so glad. Kaylee, thank you for leading the call tonight.